Hi, my name is Tisha Davis. This is my major presentation for Intro to Instructional Technology. The topic of the presentation today is using interactive video conferencing in the classroom. Okay, first we're going to look at and figure out what is interactive video conferencing. Interactive video conferencing involves a television, a microphone, and a camera all working together. Using a telephone line or a network internet provider connection, you dial up another location with the same setup. You can see and hear them, and they can see and hear you. Then, students are able to talk with people and access resources that they would otherwise be unavailable due to distance and time. The purpose of this presentation today is to identify 5 different ways teachers can use interactive video conferencing in their classroom, why interactive video conferencing is beneficial, and some of the best practices to keep in mind when using interactive video conferencing in your classroom. First, we're going to identify the 5 ways teachers can use interactive video conferencing in their classrooms. The first is that you can connect with experts. By connecting with experts, teachers can invite the experts into their classroom. This is a great way to bring meaning to a lesson, but oftentimes with their busy schedules, it doesn't allow much time for them to come visit an actual classroom. This is one way that teachers can get their students engaged and interested by getting to see what others do every day and what the functions of a job actually are. With video conferencing, anyone can come and visit the classroom and bring added value to the lesson. So a teacher can get anyone from any state or any country to come visit their classroom to match any lesson that they're giving that day and just give insight to what the students are learning about. Utilizing virtual field trips is another way that teachers can bring interactive video conferencing into their classrooms. Whenever you think about taking a field trip, a regular field trip requires a lot of preparation, from the food to the transportation to mischievous students, and most importantly, you have to make sure that you don't lose anybody. Virtual field trips are not limited just to close destinations. They open up a world of possibilities to students to where that they can see and experience a lot more. Field trips are a fun way for students to see and learn about new things. So by being able to expand outside their normal circle, it allows for them to be able to see things in other countries. Examples might be just being located here in Arkansas. You could have a virtual field trip of just about anywhere in the nation. Have a virtual field trip of the Smithsonian or something like that. It just opens up a world of possibilities. Working together is another way that teachers can bring interactive video conferencing into their classroom. By working together, teachers can bring classes together from different states and create a team working environment with peers that they would not normally connect with. Interactive video conferencing allows for students in different parts of the nation or different countries to come together and work on relevant issues. So it just kind of expands their normal day-to-day peer and social connections. Accessing previously unavailable courses is another way that teachers can use interactive video conferencing in their classroom. This allows for rural schools to offer more advanced or detailed courses that their students might need. And even in more populated areas, some schools lack enough teachers to offer certain subject areas. Interactive video conferencing allows for students to take these courses by joining in on other classes and then receiving credit for them in their own school. The final way that teachers can use interactive video conferencing is to teach the teacher. Interactive video conferencing creates a way for teachers to participate in professional development days. Every teacher knows that getting enough hours needed to meet the required hours is a hassle. So with video conferencing, it makes it a little easier to get hours completed with their busy schedules without having to travel long distances and take up more of their time. Next, we're going to look into why interactive video conferencing is beneficial, and it's beneficial to both the student and the teacher. Okay, we have previously looked at the 5 primary ways that interactive video conferencing can be utilized in the classroom. So here are some of the reasons why interactive video conferencing is so beneficial. First of all, this tool gives the student the ability to learn from someone other than their teacher and share what they know with students from other parts of the country and the world. Secondly, through live video experiences, students are able to gain insight into particular areas of study. They can have real-time, face-to-face interactions with those who know the topic the best. Next, they practice social skills by being encouraged to interact politely and professionally with those they encounter during a video conference. This teaches them a lot of social interaction skills. And then it allows for the students to recognize that their friends and people in their physical community are not the only learners in the world, in addition to expanding the students' understanding of how big the world actually is. Interactive video conferencing can be used for parent-teacher conferences as well. This is good for when the parent can't meet with the teacher during the times that are set for a particular parent-teacher conference. This also is a big help with parental involvement. It can also generate student competitions. The teacher can use this and can create spelling bees or geography bees with other schools in other states or countries, and this will help encourage kids or students to want to learn and compete in these competitions. Then next, the teachers can save a particular video conference for later use, like for another course or use it another year. Then finally, it allows for anyone in the world to speak with the class on a particular topic. So this gives the teacher the opportunity to bring in anyone that they want to speak with their class on a particular topic that they're learning about. Okay, so now we're going to move on into some of the best practices whenever using video conferencing in your classroom. Okay, the first best practice is to make sure that you equip carefully. Teachers want to make sure that they do this because by doing this, it means that you'll have to make sure that whenever the setup that you choose will connect with current providers and deliver an interactive experience for the entire classroom. So you have to make sure that what you choose to use in your classroom as far as the video conferencing will connect with what your school provides. Next, you want to ensure that you have proper training. Training is important to any situation. But as a teacher, you don't want to not know what you're doing when you get ready to perform your first video conference. Knowing what you're doing is essential. So you want to make sure that your students see you feel confident in what it is that you are actually doing. You want to make sure that you choose content wisely. And this is the most important step whenever you're using video conferencing in your classroom. As a teacher, you want to make sure that the subject of a video conference matches the lesson. When using video conferencing, it's meant to be a learning tool. It's not meant to make things complicated. This is supposed to be fun and different and engage the students, not to confuse them. Okay, next you want to schedule strategically. It is a good idea to have a system for scheduling programs. Schools who have had long-term success with video conferencing have had one person that works with a site coordinator or through an organization that provides programs from many different content providers. And finally, you want to consider all options. You want to dedicate time to learning about the technology and how other educators are using it and how to build an effective distance or blended learning program. Knowing about the technology is a must to be successful at using it in your classroom. So I hope that this presentation has helped you to learn a little bit more of how to use video conferencing in your classroom. It goes without saying, interactive video conferencing is the new wave of the future, and I'm sure that we will start seeing it used in more schools every day. This presentation has described 5 great ways that interactive video conferencing can be utilized in the classroom, why it is beneficial to both the teacher and the students, and some of the best practices to keep in mind when using video conferencing in your classroom. Interactive video conferencing has many benefits and only enhances the learning experience. According to the article that I read, Benefits of Video Conferencing to Students, video conferencing is a fascinating and adventurous world, and its benefits to students are far-reaching and tremendous.